with a new focus today on strategic soul-aligned business design for midlife visionaries. Camille Miller is joining us today to share how we can actually build a business that feeds our soul. We're going to get into the real transformative work of creating a soul-led business. In other words, how to align your expertise, your intuition, and your passion to a thriving, sustainable enterprise. So, a warm welcome to all of you who are joining in today on Awaken and Ascend. I am Jennifer Regular, your host, also the founder of the Leadership Ascension Alliance, which you can learn more about below. And I'm so excited to now extend this warm welcome to Camille Miller. She is a 3 times best-selling author of soul-driven entrepreneurship, which is right up our alley, and the pioneer of the soul professional movement, which I can't wait to ask you about, Camille, because that in itself sounds amazing. So welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer, for having me back. Always love
Yeah.
your podcast and sharing time with you. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. And if you don't already know, Camille was the lead author of a recently released book that I'm a co-author of as well, which is The Ultimate Guide to Leaving Your Legacy. And so we talk a lot about some soul-aligned missions and visions and things that we learned along our journey and how we're
Yeah.
sharing those expressions now. And so, yeah, I'm just thrilled that you're here. And I'd love for people to know what actually inspired you on this path, Camille? What lit your path?
From the beginning, well, I was a not-for-profit executive for decades and right before I created the company I have today. But it was in that role. Um, I was the CEO for the state of New Jersey for the Northeast Organic Farming Association, and later became acting president of the entire Northeast. But it put me in Washington, working on our food and farming here in the United States. But it really gave me access to very soul-aligned people because they cared about what they were putting in their body. They were using alternative medicine. So that position was defunded in 2015, and I was kind of looking for where are my people in the world? What am I going to do next? And although I was offered some great jobs in fundraising and not-for-profit work, I realized that money was no longer my motivator. And it was really about creating impact in the world. But moreover on that, it was really helping people that I had met in that space that were very soul aligned and had these special gifts, but didn't really know how to get them to the world.
Mhm.
So as I was looking to create a new business or do something next, I was trying to find the people I wanted to align with. And when I went to like a holistic organization, I felt it was way too woo-woo for who I was.
Hmm.
And when I went to a business organization, I felt it was way too ego-driven and masculine energy for where I was, right? So it was really dovetailing those two things in who I am. Trying to find that space is how I created the Natural Life Business Partnership, which was way back in 2015. I wrote that business plan. And we started out as a coffee club because I had this vision of being a new type of professional organization that held space for people like me that dovetailed these two worlds. And I had a pretty good knowing at the time. Now I'm claircognizant, so it's not just me. Um, a knowing of the world would need this someday. Like I knew
Yes.
that it was a paradigm shift that was starting, and I
Hmm.
was like, let me just help people bring their gifts to the world. And I never really knew how it was all going to happen, but I knew that I could create it. So we started out as a little coffee club, and I went around and met people in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and then we really started to grow. In the end of 2017, I got a call from someone in California that said, "Oh my gosh, I've been following you, but I can't wait for you to come out here." And I knew in that moment that I did not have a sustainable model. And I
Oh.
was just like, I was already divorced at that time. I was a full-time mom to 3 kids. Like I couldn't be out traveling. And I was like, how am I going to do this?
Mm.
But I heard of this thing called Zoom. And I had this premonition that this would be the new way of doing business. So in 2018, we launched on a Zoom platform, an all Zoom model, and I began to teach people how are we going to use Zoom to create global businesses.
Mhm.
And in 2019, we went international. 2020, you might remember this global pandemic. And but we were already positioned for what was coming. So
Yes.
that was kind of the start, the real start, like the second start of everything. And by the end of 2020, I took on the trademark of the Soul Professional. And that's when we trademarked that and created the launch and the movement and what a soul professional is. And that has cascaded since then. So
Wow,
now we're a
amazing.
very large organization. Yeah. So it's kind of been fun. And, as any entrepreneur, there's ups, there's downs, there's changes in staff, there's a lot of learning, which is in all three of my books.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
written about the stages of business, literally of my own life.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a very rich, almost decadent decade, right, of the last 10
Yes.
years of
Yes, it
evolving
has.
into this and really trusting your intuition,
Yeah.
trusting that you were able to create this, you're co-creating this with your vision and with the people that you wanted to be surrounded with, right? And it all started
Yeah.
over coffee too. I mean, that's a good place to start,
Yeah, and
right?
we were still having coffee with Camille. We still did that
Oh,
on
wow.
Zoom, and we
Yeah.
we continued it. They're actually all recorded because they're pretty good classes, but I don't release them now. But
Oh,
yeah, so yeah, it's been an unbelievable 10 years, but each part has changed too. Like I feel like I deconstruct and I build it better. Then I deconstruct it and I build it better. So I've
yes.
learned about building businesses. And that's why I help people build businesses all over the world, because I think the future is really about entrepreneurship and it's really about purpose-driven world where people aren't going into corporations anymore. I used to say that my people were what I was calling midlife, like 48
Mhm.
to 62, and they were changing careers and they
Mhm.
really were looking for something that made their heart sing. Right.
Yes.
But now I have 30-year-olds coming into the program and they're like, we're
Ooh.
not even doing this. They're much more creative souls and they understand that business is done differently now. And going
Yeah.
forward, I really believe it's so much between borders is going to be with these solo entrepreneurs. And it's how
A
can we have
hundred
bigger
percent.
global conversations and connect and help each other grow, because we're also moving all over the world,
Yeah,
right? People are moving all the
absolutely.
time
Beyond borders. Yeah,
beyond
definitely.
borders.
Yeah,
Right.
and beyond like age groups, right? Like we're just
Yes.
finding that there are these soul professionals, these ones who are creative and innovators and strategic thinkers, thought leaders, change makers in every decade, right? And it's just pulling them out. Like you're
Absolutely.
saying, the younger ones, they know that we've shifted now from a product-driven economy to a purpose-driven economy. And that's been
Yeah.
a huge part of the paradigm shift, hasn't it? Is people moving out of their corporate or career life into their calling. And I
Yeah.
love the term soul professional and how you trademark that. And I'd love for you to share a little bit more about what that truly means.
So we define a soul professional as someone who lives in a higher vibration, has an alternative approach to business, and is here to help repair the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm.
So it is the corporate to calling, it is the passion driven, right? It is business beyond borders. And we recently re-released what we call the Soul Professional Movement,
Uh-huh.
which we created back in 2020, the end of 2020. But now we re-released it because I believe that the world needs us more. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there is such a shift happening right now that the world needs to hear this all again. And now we have a pledge. So you can go to our website, thesoulprofessional.com. There's a whole movement there. There's a pledge that people take, and we call them a soul professional. They get a little badge that they can put and on their website or their signature or however they want. But it allows us to say, okay, we have the same core values. So I would like to do business with you. And in the works behind the scenes, we're putting an entire directory together of everyone that signs that pledge. So if I'm looking for an attorney or a doctor or a healer or, a podcast, like whatever I'm looking for, I can just go to the directory and be like, there's another soul professional, and that's who I'm going to work with. But it's
Wow.
about connecting with each other and knowing we exist. So I'm actually creating the professional organization that I envisioned back in 2015.
Oh, wow.
So it's really a professional organization for all of the soul aligned people all over the world. We
It's
represent
where
about
you find
28
your
countries.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. That's the
Because I
place.
feel they're coming out of the woodwork now. They probably always existed, but now I think people feel more free to say it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we
Yeah,
really need the conditions to be able to thrive and create an environment and hold that space. And that's exactly why I created the Leadership Ascension Alliance as well, right? To have that place
exactly.
to create the conditions where we can gather in
Yeah,
who we are and really be able to take aligned action in what we're here to do. And I love also that we're talking about movements now. We're not just talking about doing business, right? We're actually
right.
creating movement because we have been in a place of stagnation for so long where things just aren't working anymore. And I love how, you've been adapting to these changing times. You talk about deconstructing and constructing and evolving with that. And that's really the essence of transformation, right? We're transcending
Oh, yeah.
form, moving beyond the way things have existed before, moving beyond our limited small selves into, who we can become through the kind of work that we do. And so doing the transformative work, I think, is essential as well. And I know that we
Absolutely.
touched on that a little bit. It's really the inner work, the inner mastery that has the outer impact. We can only take people as far as we've come. So if we're leading a movement, then we better be doing the kind of work that's
Yeah.
going to take people to where they need to go. And that's going to help us go to where we want to be as well. And so share a little bit about what that's been like for you.
Yeah, I also agree it takes the inner work to have the outer success. I've been saying
Mhm.
that for years, but I
Yes.
also believe that the movement, when I first thought it up, I wasn't also ready to lead because I am a very different person today than I was even 5 years ago,
Hmm.
right? I had to do the inner work. I had to grow. I literally moved. Um, I've written the 3 books, so like I'm in a different space of business myself,
Yeah.
right? I'm building my own empire. I'm building my own leadership. I'm building my own, you know, um, place in this world that now I can share from there, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like I needed to be the leader that can take this forward. And it was a part of my transformation to be able to lead the movement and be bold about it. So that's been kind of interesting. And those that are helping share the movement, has been kind of eye-opening. We're putting together an advisory board and people that we just want to have the bigger conversation. Like, what do we need? Right?
Hmm.
Because this isn't a program, people aren't buying into it. It just exists for all of us. So people can find your program, so people can find
Hmm.
other people's programs, and we can start talking about, oh, is this what you need? It's over here. Right? So people can find what they need in the world. It's not a product or a program that I'm selling. It's a place for us all to connect. And I think when I envisioned it, I wasn't so sure about what it would all be, right? And I had a membership for 10 years,
Hmm.
right? I let that go because I felt like I needed to be in this bigger space, right? I had to
Hmm.
allow things to go to fill this big, to hold this bigger vision for everyone. So I'm not even sure where it's going to go, but I do know collectively we need it because in this new paradigm, this new world, there will be leaders, right? And as part of it, I'm looking for who's standing beside me, who's going to lead this, who wants to have these bigger conversations. And it's been actually really interesting
Hmm.
to just be in that space, when I'm able to tell people about it and they're like a hell yes, like we're a part of it and I'm telling 10 friends, and that's really cool to see, or people that
Yeah.
feel like it's competition to what they've built, right? And
Hmm.
then I'm like, okay, that's still your ego, right?
Yeah.
I
And that's
I
the
can't help it
limitation
because
right there.
right.
Yeah.
And that's okay because that's what
Hmm.
people need, I guess, in the world, right? And I feel like there's a lot of people, a lot of noise in the world that I've seen in the last few months about everyone talking about spiritual businesses or spiritual or purpose. And it's an interesting to just kind of watch. Are they? Do they define themselves the way we're defining it? Are they a part of it? Are they not? Is it more conscious leadership? Like, I feel like there's a lot of moving parts, right? A lot of things happening in the world right now. So I feel like those that are called or have the are called to do more global impact and be a good citizen and not compete with each other are more a part of this and the pledge.
Absolutely. Yeah, literally lighting the path to collective transformation, which is a bit of what I wrote
Yes.
about in that last book, right?
Yeah.
And so with this, I know that people are getting intrigued, their ears are perked up and want to be a part of this. So how can they connect with you, Camille?
Yeah. So the best way is to go to our website, soul, S-O-U-L, professional.com. And there's a space right out there. It's all about the movement. And there's a pledge that they can take and a little badge that they get. And then we tell them all about it if you want to be more involved or not, or share it or not, or, and it's really about us just keeping in contact and telling everyone what we're doing. We do have free networking, we have free master classes for your business. So it's all free right now. So it's really about educating people to bring their businesses forward in the world and giving them the support that they need. So they can go there and get all the resources. It's still in building phase, though, I will say. It's still
Yeah.
in building phase as we collect and ask people what they need. But if they want to be part of the conversation, there's a
Yes.
way to reach out and let me know too.
And that's a beautiful way to begin is that co-creation, right? Bringing people in
Yeah,
and using those dynamics to create what it needs to be to support everyone in the best possible way. Everyone sharing what their highest contribution can be in that to really have that reciprocation, of giving and receiving and building this together.
absolutely.
This is how we evolve and transform. And this is the movement, right? This is how
Yeah,
we move,
yeah,
move along and build the capacity to become the leaders and have the impact that we want to have, but also to lead the most fulfilling life that we came here to live in
absolutely.
all of that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
co-creation that I think is the most important piece. Like I
Mm-hmm.
created the Soul Professional Business School. Now there's an online learning academy. And just this week we opened it up for other faculty and master educators and everything to come in and start helping us build it. So it's not my classes, it's everyone out there, like all of their
Mm-hmm.
classes, because it's hard to have, drive people to one class. Like if you're a small solopreneur
That's
to
true.
buy the
Mm-hmm.
software to do all the things. So we've created it. So we can help people with revenue streams and all of that.
Everything you
Yeah,
need
it's
to know. Yeah.
yeah,
Can be
yeah,
found. Yeah. And we need
yeah,
that new programming, right? Because the old programming, the old ways
yes,
is, the false beliefs and ways that we thought we
yeah,
needed to be out in the world just don't fit. They're not aligned. And that's what's so great about coming into a space like yours, Camille, is finding that alignment, finding your people and finding what you need to create that new programming, to create that new mindset that we need and really lead from the heart and from the
yeah.
soul and merge those worlds of business and spirituality together. This is why I love to be able to connect with you so much and have these kind of conversations. And I'm so grateful what you shared here. And I wonder if there's anything else that you would like to share while we're here together.
Ooh, uh, that's mostly it. It's really that's my passion. The movement right
Yeah.
now is my passion and just letting everyone know because I think so many people feel that, or they feel very stuck in a job right now or stuck in whatever their life pattern is, that
Mm,
there is a chance and a space for something greater. Like if you've had a purpose or something that you've loved to do, even as a hobby, it can be created into a business and it can be created into a business that feeds your soul, gives
mm,
you freedom and boundless time
mm.
and creates the wealth that you need to create impact. And I do believe that you need a thriving business to create impact because we vote
Yeah.
through our dollars. But there's nothing that people can't create. right? So I have a business accelerator class in our school that we spend 3 weeks just finding people's unique gifts,
Hmm.
like really drilling down and doing a self-assessment because a lot of people are like, "Oh, that comes naturally. That I can't charge for that." I'm like, "No, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, no."
Mm-hmm.
And giving them the confidence and the courage to really build a
Right.
business
Right.
that they want to wake up and do every single day. Like they don't ever
Yeah.
need a vacation from. They just love it. So, yeah, I think that's what I want to share out there that, it is possible to have everything that you dream of
It
now,
is
all
possible.
together, all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is possible all at once. I love it. I love it. Because that's how you want it sometimes, right? It's like now. Let's
Yes.
do this. Yeah. And it sounds like you have all the resources and support available for people to do just that. So we will definitely share those links below. So just check it out in the video description. Find out about the Soul Professional movement and all the different programs and courses and classes that you can take. And so much of it free. Like that's amazing. Like this is a chance to like try it out, feel into it, and gather the courage to see if this is the way that you want to change the way that you're living and working right now to be more aligned, have that greater impact you need, and make a lot of money doing it. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yay.
Yeah, so we'll have those links below for sure. And I love, Camille, that you are truly living your passion. And the way
Thank
that I
you.
see passion, when you break up the word, it's pass I on. And that I being your
Um,
soul's expression of what you're here to pass on in this lifetime. And you've really boldly stepped into that. You're embodied leader as I have ever known one. So
oh,
thank you so much for sharing
thank
your
you.
radiance and your energy and your inspiration and your drive with all of us, because that really inspires us to get moving on our dreams and our vision and see how that can be manifested in the world. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for allowing me the space to share it.
Oh yeah, you bet. You bet. And thank you to each and every one of you that have been listening, tuning in to Awaken and Ascend. We are here every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.